The West Walnut Street redevelopment plan is a roughly $33 million investment in one of the oldest parts of Johnson City. Existing utilities there are being updated, and some new utilities are being added. Some of the existing water and sewer infrastructure buried beneath West Walnut Street today is nearly 100 years old and would have needed to be replaced regardless of whether or not this redevelopment occurred. Many of the maps detailing locations of existing underground utilities were hand-drawn and not very precise. New infrastructure and plans are now mapped digitally in the city's Geographic Information System, or GIS, ensuring they maintain a high degree of accuracy. When installing new piping, our crews begin at the lowest elevation. Sanitary sewer lines are installed first, as they need to be the deepest and are oriented closest to the center of the roadway. Next comes the stormwater and water supply lines, followed by electrical, communications, and gas lines where needed. Updating these utilities while keeping them in use is a complicated and time-consuming process. Once new utilities are in place and connected, old infrastructure is abandoned and sometimes removed to make room for additional installations in the future. Existing electrical infrastructure located above ground will be encased in underground concrete conduit to improve aesthetics and reliability of services. Choreographing this work is an extremely complex process. It requires careful consideration of the placement requirements for the various utilities and scheduling when each segment will be ready and accessible. This often results in individual utilities being updated at separate times during the process. One relatively common complication our crews have encountered along West Walnut Street has been uncovering unmapped or abandoned pipelines. This often requires changes in planning that result in a cascading effect that impact planning and scheduling of neighboring utilities. Because this redevelopment is taking place in a busy section of our downtown, there are unique challenges that often delay progress. Additionally, supply chain issues have resulted in several delays, along with having to wait for approvals from third parties. Sometimes, tunneling underground is the only way to install new utilities, like when crossing a major roadway or going underneath train tracks. This is a painstaking process that requires great care to prevent damaging the road surface and railroad tracks. Once the redevelopment along West Walnut has been completed, there will be a host of new amenities including bike lanes, brick crosswalks, raised intersections for traffic calming, and new green spaces, just to name a few. Currently, we are engaged in the most difficult phase of this multi-year project. It includes West Walnut Street, Ash Street, and several other adjacent side streets. The next phase of the project will take place within a more confined area and have a smaller overall footprint, causing less inconveniences. Thank you for your interest and for taking the time to watch this video to gain a better understanding of the West Walnut Street redevelopment plan and the challenges our crews and administrators face while completing work. We appreciate your patience and can't wait to enjoy this wonderful redevelopment with you and all of our friends and neighbors once we can go all out and enjoy the best Johnson City has to offer.